Right now in our CSS, we have a mix-in that allows us to pass in a minimum or a maximum. If there's a minimum provided, the minimum styles up here, anything that we specify in those brackets, will take effect. Likewise, if a maximum is provided, the maximum styles will take effect. So this is an OR statement. We're going to using a max or a min. So essentially, we have a box, and we're going to say that our minimum is going to be 300 pixels. What we're saying here is that at 300 pixels or larger, I want these styles to apply, right? So we're at, let's get this, we're at this size, anything over 300 pixels. On the other end, we could have a max of 500 pixels. So we're saying at 500 pixels or smaller, I want these styles to apply. So this is an OR statement. So the problem with our current mix-in is that it doesn't allow for an AND statement. What do I mean by that? The beautiful AND, wasn't it? It's gorgeous. What I mean by that is to have both a minimum of 300 pixels and a maximum of 500 pixels specified. Essentially, we're trying to catch the range boop, 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 greater than 300 pixels, but smaller than 500 pixels. We want this middle range here. Well, if we wanted to do that, we would have to use a media query that included both. So we would say, hey, the min width is going to equal the minimum variable, and then we're going to use this awesome word called and then we're going to say the max width is going to be set to whatever we pass in as max. And then anything, we're going to do our open curly brackets, any styles we apply, close curly brackets. So this lovely media query is going to allow us to do this AND scenario here with both. However, if we just had this media query on top of our already two existing media queries, we would get an AND plus an OR situation going on here, which, as you can probably imagine, if we're covering the middle area with our and we're covering all of the right and all of the left with our ORs, well then we are styling effectively everything. So our media queries aren't doing anything. So this is why we need to go ahead and surround our OR statements here with an if. So we're literally just going to say, hey, if there is not a max, then go ahead and do this minimum thing here. And then we're also going to say, if there's not a min, nope, go ahead and do this maximum thing here. This is going to basically say, run through from top to bottom and say, hey, min and max, great, do this crap. If there's not a max, do this. If there's not a min, do this. And that way we don't ever get a scenario where we're encompassing everything, but we also allow a way for our front-end people to style ORs and the AND situation.